Most of us have financial goals, and that could be paying down debt, saving for a home, improvement project, or a vacation, to even buying a car. However, only 20% have a plan for achieving those goals. So joining us today is Cal Coast Credit Union's Manager of Community and Public Relations, Robert Scheid, to share some tips on how to start getting financially fit to achieve your goals. And thanks for being with us.
Well, thank you for having me.
I see you here all the time. I'm glad to be sitting in the chairs talking
Likewise,
with you.
I appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah, so now tell us first, what does it mean to be financially fit?
Well, it's sort of like becoming physically fit. It takes discipline, and it takes a desire and a vision, and it takes a plan. It doesn't happen by accident, especially as you get older in life. You have to work at being physically fit. Likewise, being financially fit takes a plan and discipline. But ultimately, it's building your roadmap, your financial roadmap.
Okay, so let's talk about that. Let's start breaking down that roadmap with some tips. And the first thing you need to do out of the gate.
Get your data together. I know it doesn't sound terribly sexy or exciting, and you kind of imagine back in the day your parents at the kitchen table with all their paperwork. You need to get all your information together to understand what's coming in. What is the income, gross versus net, and where is it going? What are your savings vehicles, and how are they working for you? So you gather all that information, and it starts to get the ingredients together to build that roadmap.
Okay, so that's the beginning, and then you need to track your expenses. How's the best way to go about that?
Yeah, okay, so to be honest with you, this is probably not the most entertaining part. This is where it's going to take some work and some effort, but it's really going to be rewarding. And it's going to be revealing, because what you want to do is track your expenses. And this oftentimes surprises people. You know, that Starbucks coffee every morning, that adds up over the course of a year. So if you get your expenses together, your documents together about what's going out. Earlier we gathered the data on what's coming in. Now we need to know what's going out and why it's going out and where it's going to. And you'll look at three types of expenses: your fixed expenses, your variable expenses, and then the periodic expenses. So a fixed expense might be something, it's the same amount every month, you know it's coming up, it's that mortgage payment or rent or some of those costs, the car payment, stuff like that. Variable payments are things that you can also predict they will be coming up, but there's a range, and that might be eating out, your entertainment costs, things like that vary from month to month, but you can put it in the budget. Or another important one, growing more and more important, is pet expenses. Those things add up.
Oh my,
do they? You want to build that into the budget. And then there are periodic expenses, like that 30,000-mile maintenance job in the car that seems to cost a lot of money. Well, that's coming up. And so those periodic expenses, or another good one that's coming up right now, holiday expenses. You can plan on those and save for those periodic expenses. So you want to start tracking all of your expenses.
To get ahead of it down the road. It definitely relieves some stress. Okay, so what's next? Do you analyze the information, and then what about goals?
So in this plan, there are basically 7 steps, and we're getting to the halfway point. And so once you've gathered this information, you need to analyze it. You really need to look at it and how it's going to work into your plans and your desires and your goals in life, whether those are short, medium, or long-term goals, or will these things be obstacles? And so it's kind of starting to understand what you have in front of you, whether this is going to be a daunting task or something that is easily manageable. So you have to analyze all this good information.
Okay, and then you actually showed me this SMART slide with some goals. Tell me about that.
Yeah, well, once you have all this information, what do you do with it? Well, you develop your goals. You really write out your goals. And again, these could be short, medium, or long-term goals. And one of the examples, when we talk about SMART, this stands for specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and timely. So these goals have to serve a purpose, not like saying, I want to reduce my debt, I want to cut my spending, I want to make more money. It has to be really specific. So as an example that I presented in this one slide that we talked about on SMART goals, you might want to be specific and say, okay, I'm going to do this study abroad program. I need $1,000, so my goal is to save $1,000 to go on this study abroad program. That's a very specific goal. And the M in SMART, it's measurable. You're going to be able to measure your milestones in attaining that goal. You're going to be able to say, I'm going to set up a savings account, and each month I'm going to be putting, say, $125 a month into this goal or this plan, and you're going to be able to see as you go along that you're reaching this goal. So it's measurable. And then the other part is it has to be attainable and relevant. Otherwise, who cares? I mean, if it really matters to you, you're going to work at making that goal happen. If it's not relevant or attainable or not realistic, it's not going to work out. We know that. And then finally, it has to be timely. This can't go on forever. You have to, at some point, be held accountable to yourself for what your goals are and whether you've achieved those goals. So in this example, say after 8 months, I want to have $1,000 in this savings account that I've created so I can do the study abroad program. In 8 months, you will know how you measured against that goal and whether you achieved it, and then set other goals or parallel goals that you can keep tracking.
All right. Hey, all good ideas. I know that we went through those, and we also showed all 7 on screen.
Sure.
So where can we get more information?
Yes, you can go to our website at calcoastcu.org, and there's a tab with just a wealth of free information. It's the Know and Plan tab. Click on that, and there's all kinds of budget planning tools and resources for you.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Time to start saving and planning and
that's
getting ahead.
Yep.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Linda.
7 steps to help you get financially fit. If you'd like to learn more about it, just head to the website listed and click on Know and Plan. And Renee, let's get into the know about the weather.